Building Blocks Recreation and Learning Center. The ways we teach our children has to accommodate our environment. It has obviously changed, and by not changing the curriculum in schools, it is leaving the children of America academically challenged. With all of the information that is available, and with America being as industrious and contemporary as it is, we should be the ones that are setting the example for the other countries. But we are not. America is left lagging. In a comparison done between 57 industrious countries, America scored 16th in science and 23rd in math. Finland ranks the highest. This is a proposal to bring a learning environment and bring our academic level back to where it should be. 0 to 9 months. This is the infant room. Class number 1. It is during this time of development that babies are stimulated by the sounds of music. The voice is also something of interest and a source of entertainment and understanding. Musical experiences through the voice are ways to help a baby create emotions with their own voice. It is during this time that a baby should be learning the pitches and comforts of sounds to increase the productivity and mental synapses occurring in their brains. Making these connections is vital to what they will continue to learn and how they will learn in their futures. So it is during this time that babies will be sang to, along with melodic accompaniment. Class number 2. Being able to reach and grasp hold of objects is important to the dexterity and also forming synapses to their cognitive abilities. For instance, if a baby can examine a spoon using a mitten that is covered in Velcro on one side that makes grabbing the spoon easier, the baby is shown to have quicker learning responses than that of an average baby without these sticky gloves. This study develops their cognitive abilities, taking them from simple exploring to complex decision of tools through life and creating ways to work smarter, not harder. The first essential for the child's development is concentration. The child who concentrates is immensely happy. Mindfulness. Many adults are trying to develop the abilities to be in the moment, to focus on the task at hand, to enjoy work. This is called mindfulness. However, we know that children are born with this skill. It is a gift to us to observe it and out of duty to protect it, just as we do periods of concentration. Maria Montessori. For this age, room that resembles their own home is what they will need to work in. Shelves that are stacked with mixing bowls and pans. These shelves are made accessible to the child so that they can pull them down and unstack them, examine and use them, and then put them away. Using little brooms and dustpans, washcloths, water, and soap are also part of being productive and how cleanliness is important to their safety. It is a popular myth that these are the most important years according to the prominent neuroscientist William Greenough. These years should be enhanced with cognitive abilities and allow the child to concentrate on the task at hand. Finish and clean up. This is the most gratifying to them. Peel an egg, paint a picture, help make cookies or bread. After learning their way around the kitchen and the bathroom, the children will now begin to incorporate the basic uses of the tools. A child at this age is happiest while using concentration and deep focus. This type of mindfulness is something that will be used all through their life. At this age of 3, they are able to help prepare lunch, pour pre-measured ingredients into the mixing bowls or pans that they had played with in the previous years. These acts of responsibility establish a sense of gratification in helping and also commitment to their classmates as a team member. This room is easy to create. The things that would be needed are shorter work tables and chairs and an oven with a stovetop, mixing bowls, wooden spoons, whisks, and spatulas. 3 to 6 years old. It is during this time of development that children are starting to discover their cognitive abilities. These are brain-based skills used to carry out a task from simple to complex. They are starting to discover how they can apply their ideas to the physical world using different materials such as sand, clay, textiles, glue, paper, etc. They can combine them to make something different. It is during this time of development that children are starting to discover their cognitive abilities. These are brain-based skills used to carry out a task from simple to complex. They are starting to discover how they can apply their ideas to the physical world, using different materials such as sand, clay, textiles, glue, paper, etc. They can combine them to make something different. It is in this way of teaching that they begin to understand the mutable abilities of their physical world. This will also help in developing their sense through textures and substances. Class number 1. The room I am asking to be built would have approximately 4 workstations. Each station would provide the ability to use different types of material to create with. For instance, one station there could be colors and paints and papers. In another station there would be scissors and material with glue. And in another there would be colored sands and various tools to move the sands on the surface, much like a Zen garden. In another, there would be clay and sculpting tools. At this age, using art helps a child develop his motor skills. By using a paintbrush or scissors, he is fine-tuning them. Their spatial development is highly influenced by the use of art. Also, talking about what they've created develops language and an understanding of how to verbalize what is in his environment, colors, shapes, and actions. The simple decision-making used for creating art at this age will carry over into their later years. Class number 2. The next class would follow the lead of this art development class into a reading room. In this room there would be walls that were made of cork. On it each week the children would create a piece of art that pertained to the story being read to them, and then they would add it to the wall. By the time they would finish the book, they will have created an entire scene of imagination being brought to life. Through doing this, it teaches them teamwork and cooperative actions. It shows how to use patience and the importance of finishing a task and how each piece offers something special just like them. This also reduces social barriers through commonality. Age group is 7 through 9, late childhood. At this age, a child is starting to discover real friendships and a need for independence. There is more confidence and abilities and a need for individuality. They will talk about their thoughts and ideas and will have more precise details on what they are feeling. They are now showing compassion to others and are less aware of themselves. It is because of these qualities that this is a good time to give them a garden to care for. The importance of creating a room to grow a garden pertains to the importance of health. A healthy body is indicative of a healthy mind. With the obesity epidemic on the rise in America and the lack of knowledge about food, it is no surprise that children in schools today cannot even identify what certain vegetables are or where they come from. By allowing those to grow a garden at school, it will introduce biological science, basic growth and maintenance, and how all of this also pertains to our own personal caretaking of our bodies and mental health. Beyond producing fresh, healthy produce, gardening is proven to reduce stress, keep you limber, and improve your mood. Class number 2. This would be a time to implement skills that would complement the garden box class. This would be a class where they would learn what they are growing and how it grows. They would then learn how to feed the plants and get the most nutrition from their produce. When it's time to harvest the vegetables and fruits, they will have a basic cooking course. Through this, they will learn math and how to measure, and by doing this, it encourages the use of fractions by proportioning amongst their peers. They are sharing their creations and discussing the health benefits of this whole process. When they are done eating, as a team, they will clean the dishes and put away the kitchen. Age group 9 to 13 years of age, adolescents. At this age, they are starting to become aware of the outside world and its influences not only on them, but on their friends and family. They suddenly develop a need for the media and also for acceptance in their own choices. So they are experimenting with their personalities. They now have an increased ability for social conscience, so therefore are aware of worldly issues such as war and poverty. At home, they are starting to be given more responsibility like babysitting and more chores. They are also being trusted with more freedoms, which may also be the cause of argument, trust and freedom. Class number 1. Because of this, it would be a good time to introduce them to the freedom of speech and the responsibility of speaking out. Creating a weekly flyer by the kids in the school, it is not an overbearing amount of information, but a way to let kids know what is going on with their peers. Following state guidelines and regulations by creating a class in this age range could start a way for kids to speak out about the issues at school and also the issues that may be at home. For instance, abuse hotlines or helplines that could offer professional advice or just an ear to talk to. During an interview with a student, there would have to be scheduled dates, tape recorders, and consent forms. Then for pictures, there would be a digital camera available and trusted to them. Through getting these stories out and offering good advice and fun activities that are happening around the school, they are creating a bond with the school and a trust among their students. When kids know who they are walking down the hallway with, they are more likely to identify with them and less likely to bully or not be friendly. When problems do arise, there is also a story to be wrote about. So it would be a way to keep the children from misbehaving. This teamwork abilities will be able to be applied all through life, and some may even go on to be the next Katie Couric or Al Roker. 9 to 13 years old. The next class that would be created to children at this age group of 9 to 13 would be the poetry class. This is a lost art, and this is also a time in which a child is in need of expressing himself, but also learning to subtly hide their feelings. Poetry is one of the best ways to say something without saying it, and a way to scream without being heard, but yet emotionally move someone. Poetry teaches a child to use their imagination and then described in abstract. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're in pause. 9 to 13 years old. The next class that would be created to children at this age group of 9 to 13 would be a poetry class. This is a lost art, and this is also a time in which a child is in need of expressing himself, but also learning to subtly hide their feelings. Poetry is one of the best ways to say something without saying it, and a way to scream without being heard, but yet emotionally move someone. Poetry teaches a child to use their imagination and then describe in abstract detail what they are seeing or feeling. Putting words to something without directly saying it is also teaching them to read. For some, this can be challenging, but yet the curiosity is evoked and the guessing games will start in wondering what their classmates are saying. Poetry is another way to express to someone how they feel about life or them and where it is taking them. Poetry helps us know each other and build community. It also motivates reluctant writers with its rhythms and sounds. Poetry can open venues for listening and for speaking. Creating a lounge where the colors are calm and the atmosphere is quiet would be a way to teach this class. In conclusion, life is about creating and making the world a better place, not only aesthetically pleasing, but also by allowing the minds of our children to flourish and become positive contributors to this ever-failing system. These children will be taking care of this world someday soon. If we take care of the right steps to help and guide our kids now and make much needed investment in them, we can rest assured that we will have a really bright future and a better earth later. I thank you for your input and time in this matter and strongly urge you to consider this proposal. In the written proposal, I have provided more details of what will be needed per classroom and funding needed. Again, thank you.